That was our only solution.
Call the insurance committee for the 28th of August into session. We're gonna start by looking at the minutes. We have a motion on the minutes.
Motion to approve.
We've got a motion to approve.
Second.
Have a second. We have a motion, second discussion. If you no discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Public comment. Does anybody like to make a public comment? Sheriff Ash, would you like to make a public comment?
I'm just here representing the retired county employees association.
Close public comment. We're gonna get into the sole business tonight, which is the employee clinic. That's all we got on the agenda. And there's been a lot of, a little groundwork here. There's been a lot of discussion. There's been ads put out. This fine lady right here has done a magnificent job of gathering the data and the bids and all that along with the finance director. But, as it turns out, and I'll let Mr. Jennings tell us we cannot vote tonight. We're gonna go through all these packages and see what we do, is think on it for a week, and then whatever's mutually acceptable with everybody to get back together and do a vote. You wanna explain that, Mayor Jennings?
I will. We learned this afternoon that, I don't know, after lunch, that the public notice to the newspapers got there, public notice, elsewhere, but the public notice did not get on the county website about this meeting. So, it appears that we have more than one person now keeping a pretty good eye on what we're doing. Not that we're doing anything wrong, just that sometimes things don't exactly work out like you would like them to be. So we talked about it, Aaron and I talked, and we couldn't hook up with the chairman, but he and I talked, and he talked with the chairman, and what we decided to do, subject to y'all's approval, of course, is no votes tonight on anything but the minutes and however you conclude this meeting, whether it's by recess or whatever, but you wanna talk about this stuff, whatever, but we can't make any consideration tonight, otherwise we're subject to having to go back and do it again. So.
Consideration being a vote.
Yeah, my advice would be that when you get ready to leave tonight, you recess the meeting and come back one night next week, if you want it in the packet this morning. If you want it in the packet, you gotta meet Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday night. Thursday's pretty much loaded, so. And if you decide you wanna meet again, we'll need to get that notice out tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning.
And, yeah.
Well,
so-
let's do that at the end of the meeting after we've gone through all the discussion and aired out. Let me just set the stage that, I guess we've met, twice? 3 times, going through packages, looking at them.
Twice anyway.
And, I just kind of set the stage, there's 6 that came in, correct?
That's right.
And, some of them were way outside the bounds of what we wanted. A couple of them were in the bounds, so with that said, I'd like for Aaron to pick up the ball and Mr. Bryan and talk about who's in the window of what we may wanna do and who is not. But anyway, y'all just
So-
jump in, let's go.
I'm gonna leave this tonight as basically just a presentation of facts, that the best I can determine facts, you know. I'm gonna start with Vanderbilt, and I brought these in case any of you wanna mark pages like I did. I didn't mark your pages like mine, but, looking at their proposal, I marked page 21. Vanderbilt wants us to guarantee them a 15% profit margin. Everybody else is basically taking that risk on themselves in either their per employee per month fee or their flat fee. They want us to guarantee them 50%, and then on the next page, on 22, up to 30%. It says on the second sentence there, highlighted, if the clinic's profit margin exceeds 30% over any 6-month period, any surplus above this threshold will be credited to Wilson County government. So they want us to guarantee them 15%, they can keep up to 30%. So, just like I say, this is just a statement of facts for your consideration. On page 33, again, you can mark these if you want. I'm sorry, I didn't mark yours. On 33, if you want, let's see. Majority of prescriptions written by on-site clinic providers are intended to be filled at patients' preferred local pharmacy.
That's-
Certain medications may be administered directly within the clinic setting. These typically include injectable medications such as antibiotics. So what that says to me is they're not planning on having a pharmacy over there. They're planning on writing scripts and having people go fill them. And then on 37, probably the most concerning thing to me, all medical services offered on site will be billed for reimbursement through qualified health insurance coverage. They want to bill our health insurance, they don't want to.
They did not submit a per employee.
They did, present a per employee per month fee, but we were very specific about what we were asking for there.
And they were outside there.
Well, see, when you have all this other stuff, like a 30%, 15% guaranteed up to 30% profit, not running scripts through, their per employee per month was like $14.74, or $14.31 in year one, $14.74 in year two, and $15.28 in year three.
It's actually more than that because they're billing insurance.
That's correct. And
So
Right,
if you're billing insurance,
Yeah.
then,
exactly.
that's not what we asked for though. That's outside.
That's not what we asked for.
That's
and,
out the window.
and you may cover that, but it was also try to not incur a copay, I think was the language.
Yep. Yeah.
It didn't say they wouldn't, but it said try, or it was a language that wasn't definite.
Yeah, again, I'm trying to steer clear of anything that might be considered taking a vote. I think it's perhaps okay for me to say I don't know. I think if you want it, I think you have grounds for rejecting this bid as non-compliant with what you requested.
Can I be the guy on the hot seat here? When we had our meeting down there, we looked at 4 that did not meet our, what was the compliant what we asked for? This is one of them.
Did I give everybody one of these?
You did, sir.
And the important thing about that is I want you to see what you're paying for the clinic right now. This last year, June 30, 2025, the first number highlighted in yellow, you paid just under $700,000 for the clinic in total. That will become important as we go through some of these other proposals. So I'll go now to Health by Design. I've only got one page marked on this one. That is page 50. There's other highlighted areas in there. If y'all need some light reading material, I did go through and highlight some stuff.
You're very kind.
Yeah,
What page, sir?
page 50. Yeah, I did put the mark on 51, but it's actually 50 I want to look at. So their proposal, the reason I wanted to show you that number there, 700,000, their proposal is to operate the clinic at an annual cost of 1.1 million.
Next.
Care ATC. Giving page 79. So you say it's really 78 and 79. You have an existing staffing model. That's staffing as it exists right now. Over 3 years, that would start in year 1 at $910,833 to after year 3, $960,599. Then they have their recommended staffing model, which would run from $993,451 to year 3, $1,048,249.
Next.
Marathon, I did not give you a copy of this. Marathon withdrew. So we did have one withdrawal. These two are the ones that I think are able to be considered. And I had to make some phone calls and talk back and forth to kind of come up with some comparative numbers here. So let's start with medical analysis. So I have marked, I marked page 2, or actually, no, it's not page 2, I'm sorry, there starts all over, so you gotta go all the way back to, well, their pages are not numbered well, my bad. I'll just read it to you, it's in there.
And then your stickers.
Yeah, it's in there. It's, so they originally said 40,000, and then they realized that 40,000 being a flat fee. So let me read what they say here. The client agrees to pay medical analysis, us being the client, of course, a base clinic fee of $40,000 to cover approximately 1,030 employees, including spouses and eligible dependents over 3 years of age. You know, you're talking 480,000 a year right there. Then we came back because they didn't give us several of them did not give us a per employee per month cost. And we wanted that for comparative purposes. So you got theirs? So they came back with $46, but that is inclusive of payroll, whereas most everybody else is flowing their payroll outside the per employee per month. He mentioned that basically he had been short one employee in his original, or at least half an employee in his original assessment. So he came in at 46. We based that on 952 employees. That's 43,792 a month times 12 months. That is 525,504. And then the only thing that would be in addition to that would be your prescription drugs and potentially labs. So that's your flow-through stuff.
Just all the pass-through costs.
All pass-through costs. So they're giving you a fee that basically covers everything. I'm not saying I don't like it. So there's one part in here which I think one of them we might consider and one of them we wouldn't. And if I have to, I'll just, because I didn't mark this, I'll just state it. They mentioned basically that they would like to combine us and the Lebanon Special School District and the Wilson County Board of Education. You could do us and LSSD, maybe, if that's all y'all's call. I would not think you would want to ever consider doing all three. So, I just throw that out for,
So they do the Wilson County Schools now?
they do not, they do Lebanon Special School District.
Okay. Is Wilson County Schools, is it up for bid or anything now?
Not to my knowledge, but I
I
don't
think
know.
it is,
Is it?
Who,
my understanding.
Okay.
who has it now?
I don't know who has it now, but I think it's,
They had a presentation the other night, I didn't know it was up for bid, they talked about different options, and they went with a different option, but the same company.
King Company. Okay.
What did they come to us? Care here?
That's
right.
It may have been, I didn't hear, there were 6 different options, and that's what the debate was about,
Okay.
but I don't remember the name of the company.
Continue, sir.
Give me one second.
Can I address something real quick?
Please go right ahead.
I don't have any interest in medical analysis. I just want to claim that. They do provide our clinic,
Yes.
primary type care clinic. I don't have any interest. I don't get any kickback. I don't get anything from them at all. So
That's good
I
to
just
know.
want to make sure that everybody understands that.
Yes.
Well, while you're saying that, Mike, I'll make the same statement concerning Family Medical, because they're here, and I do have ties with them, but I don't get anything from them. My only consideration, my thinking is if we have a local clinic, then we can access them easier for x-rays or up-shell medical treatment if we need to by running across town where you can't necessarily with somebody else. And I know that we can put the smack down on if they don't do it, or two, so.
In this, so let me go through family medical and then hopefully I'll remind me to talk about the per employee per month, then if I forget.
Okay.
Cause you know how my mind works, you've been around me too much.
You do your mind work.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So behind the financial sheet that I gave you just a minute ago, there's 2 sheets. One is this is from Health Resource Integration. There is the per employee per month fee in the very back. That's where we got the 952 employees that we asked people to quote. Okay, and then the one right in front of that is pass-through cost. Down at the bottom of that is where they're sending through salaries, the MD, NP, PA, all that stuff, the 10,413.32 and the 7,055.20. That is $209,622.24. I spoke to the gentleman, Kyle at Family Medical today, and they have pledged basically to pay and pass through exactly what Health Resource Integration is paying the employees now. So they're staying with that level. So their per employee per month fee is, it's actually in the proposal too, though. I think I didn't mark it, but it's $23. It's on page 9. So if you take their per employee per month fee of 23 times 952, you get 21,896. Multiply that by 12, you get 262,752. Add to that the pass-through staffing costs to make it comparable with medical analysis. 209, 622, 24. You get $472,374.24. So you're at 525 versus 472. You're in the ballpark with these two people by the time you put.
Does their $23 per employee, does that include salary?
No, I added that in. That was the 209,622.24.
I thought you said that was passed through cost, that's why.
So that is how Health Resource Integration is doing it. They're passing that through.
Okay,
But I took the number.
not including drugs or.
Correct.
Or lab fees or anything.
Correct.
What was that figure again, 209 what?
209,622.24 is what we're reimbursing them a month for salaries.
I'm glad you mentioned, salaries there. It brings to my mind and employees that whatever we do as a committee, we need to keep our same employees as they have a relationship with patients, provide a relationship. So whoever we go with, we need to make sure we keep, if they understand they're gonna use our existing employees, that's all I'm saying. And I just think that patient-employee relationship, shake your head a little harder there, Tommy. That we need to maintain that, so, and then qualified people, so, okay, here.
I think everybody has agreed to that. The other thing, this is, whether you even want to look at this or not, this is the per employee per month we sent out because we had some people quoting a flat fee, some people being per employee per month. Then people weren't consistent, even though we tried to be specific in terms of what we were asking for on per employee per month. We had some inconsistency. But I think as you look through here, what you're gonna see is that the people that were like Health by Design, the people that we've already looked at and we've said they sort of fall outside the scope, they also fall outside the scope on the per employee per month fee. The only one who sort of falls inside the scope on that, but I think there's a lot of other things wrong with their proposal is Vanderbilt. But Health by Design, for example, was $79.03 per employee per month.
That's almost 3 times what we're doing now.
Yeah. So I mean, we can go through all those if you want to. Let's see real quick. I won't even bother to give you the page numbers because I didn't number the pages, but I'll go through where I'm marked. So again, this one is Care ATC. They're saying 2654, 2733, and 2815, but remember they're projecting a total cost to operate the clinic of $910,000 to start with and $960,000 by year 3.
Brian, if you want to say something, you know,
I was just trying to help her get
have
to
her
it.
find it.
Find my place to write.
Okay.
Where's my number?
Vanderbilt we talked about was 1431.
It's got
But they're billing insurance,
They're billing insurance,
which would make it a lot higher.
and then
325.
again, it includes staffing, but medical analysis came in at $46 per employee per month. And their number, when you when you get their numbers and Family Medical's, when you get them apples to apples, they're in the ballpark.
What about services?
They seem to be very similar. What I would recommend, if the committee can, and I don't know if like since if medical analysis, they can do it by Zoom if no other way. What I would recommend, and I know we can't vote on it, I would recommend that you bring those two groups in and let them tell you about what they would do. But you're welcome to read those two, in
I looked, but it's
Detail.
also kind of hard because you're reading ones, you almost need a rubric and a check mark in both of them, and
I
so.
agree. And if there's something that you guys want me to send out, because we can still do that. We can still send something out asking for more information about, any specific thing. But to me, at this point in time, it's almost down to them basically giving us a presentation in terms of how they would operate, what would be included, so on and so forth.
What are our existing people going out?
They have agreed to stay on until the end of December if necessary. They would like to be gone sooner. But they also want to work, assuming that the company that gets the bid wants them to, they also want to work with that company to transition.
The reason I asked that, Mr. Chairman, is that I mentioned something about y'all meeting next week, but I'm hearing a lot of things around this table that you wanna check out, so. But I was shooting toward presenting this in September. You don't have to do it in September, you can do it in October if you need more time, but look at it, don't rush in and make a bad decision.
That's right.
I talked to Sheena on a number of occasions, and I felt a little pressure at one point to be done by the end of September, but she has assured me that that is not the case. That they are willing, at worst case scenario, end of December.
Well, I wouldn't push it that far, but
Yeah.
with, we're on a real short timeline in September. We meet, county commission meets the earliest it can.
Yep.
On the 15th, and with the holiday, y'all just don't have any time. But
Right.
all of our meetings are gonna be held next Thursday, from the 9th.
Yep.
3 of those days we're closed.
That's right.
So what's the pleasure of the committee?
Again, I don't know if we can
Yeah.
vote on anything, so.
No, we don't need to vote on anything tonight. Just other than when you wanna come back or how you wanna do it.
Well, let's get, what are you doing?
Look at what your calendar said.
Well, I'm just asking the committee, what do you wanna do? We've got the package, and we can have a presentation, whichever you guys
Yep.
wanna do. So, it's up to the committee here to decide we wanna take a week and just read the packets and keep the money local, or whether we wanna have presentation brought in and go from there. So, what's the pleasure?
Well, we've cut it down, haven't we not?
You got it.
Well, not officially.
No, you hadn't.
Oh, yeah, okay, excuse me, I didn't say it.
I understand what y'all said, but y'all haven't had it done.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, can I say?
well, I wrote on my stuff.
Well, like you recognize.
If you allow me to, I don't interrupt. But
No.
are any proposals, I haven't seen them, Aaron, are the same hours of operation, including holidays, included in those proposals?
Yes, sir.
And is there?
So, I think some have said they would, like the opportunity when they get in there to consider whether, the hours should potentially be expanded on certain days or.
So are we putting a penalty clause in there for failure to perform or not meet those obligations?
Well, right now, I don't think we have a clause like that in the contract with Health Resource Integration that I'm aware of.
So last question, and you just,
Yeah.
Ronnie, think for out.
Yeah.
Is there liability policies attached to this, their personal?
We didn't request them at this point, but we'll, whoever we choose, obviously, will have to.
Just when you get down the road and these
Yeah.
things just crop up, you say, well, we didn't think about it. I'm just sitting here to say.
No, sir,
I didn't mean to interrupt, I just want.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, them showing proof of medical malpractice and the amounts that, we'll definitely get proof of that.
Well, with those questions and what, some of the things been said around the table, it sounds like when you come back, you're gonna be ready to vote on one subject to getting a contract, and making sure that it says what you want it to say. You might say, I want company B. And then company B comes in and says, well, we're gonna restrict the hours, that's what we're gonna make money, and then you say, wait a minute, we don't wanna do that. So when you vote, you're not necessarily voting for a final contract until you
Does,
say.
does this have to go to budget and commission or what?
I don't think we took it to budget.
I,
I've got the one we did.
that's what I was asking, it's only been done one time before.
No, we just went to insurance back in April of 2012. And we had a
Did-
contract attached to it when it went.
Did it go to commission then?
It didn't
No.
go to commission, and then we renewed in 2000, looks like 16.
Mhm.
And, yeah, we had 2012, 2016.
I thought somewhere in Family Medical, it had a clause in there about going across town if you couldn't tell me if you're.
I don't specifically remember.
Yeah, fee,
Yeah.
that they would do that.
But I think they're billing your
Some
insurance
included in the
if you do that, I think is what I read.
I think it's someone that's,
No financial increase, we'd have to go back.
maybe, I don't know, I was lost.
I think it said it would be billed at your normal insurance if you went
It's
across
gonna be a
town.
change in the
Yeah,
budget.
I don't.
I do remember seeing that.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think that's what it's gonna be.
Well, I don't see it in there
What?
now.
I think that's what it's
But
gonna
you're
be.
right, no,
If you go to like
Yeah,
Dr.
like,
Rupp,
Well,
Well, clinic, and they wouldn't send me down to Dr. Wells' old office for an x-ray,
yeah.
and that's how it was, but you can be sitting and having an x-ray in just a little bit of time like that.
so what's the pleasure of the committee? You got, all the packets, we can come back and spin back through them, and there are two that are seriously of interest, but it's committee decision. I am, Ashley, Mike.
Bottom of page 8.
Wrong document here?
It's one, this LeBron newspaper, and his, what is it?
$65 billed to the county.
Flat rate, yep.
Page eight, last to next to that paragraph.
Ah, yeah.
And that's more what I remember with health resource integration as well, not necessarily that
That-
rate, but I don't remember them billing our insurance, but they may have.
Aaron, do you know
They might
how
pass
many
it out on this.
people the current clinic sees on average a day?
I don't, I could get you that number, they've given it to us before, but it's just, I just don't retain
And
that.
I know different parts of the year it's
Yeah.
gonna be.
they're heavier days of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't retain.
What are
that
they able to
information.
see? Do you know that?
Well, you're talking about an appointment every 20 minutes, basically, unless you get into there's some things, certain kinds of physicals or whatever else that they might set aside an hour for.
Okay,
I
But
wanna say
basically-
like 20
20 a day.
a day, something
Yeah.
like that, maybe
Yeah.
25.
I would imagine that's pretty average too.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
What am I doing the physical training? Well, this is the third time to ask what's the pleasure of the committee.
They don't have any pleasure.
I don't think you do either.
Third time's a charm.
Let's,
Huh?
Third time's a charm.
let's
Yeah.
digest everything and come back.
You wanna come back and vote? You want to
Do we need to, can we just recess and come back?
You can.
And
That's the
advertise?
plan.
Yeah, you wanna recess to the call of the chairman? We just need, the chairman needs to call it 4 or 5 days in advance so we can get
Well,
the notice in the paper.
let's look at the calendars and see what we wanna do now, if it meets everybody's approval, and of course, John's gone. Next Tuesday night, we got a planning and zone meeting at 5:30. We could do it after that.
Do you wanna move on it that quick?
Hey, it's up to you, I don't care.
Yeah, I
You
don't
talk about
care
getting it in
either.
the
I
packet.
just write the resolution.
I don't know how long that planning and zoning meeting is gonna take either.
I don't need it.
2 seconds.
Or we can go to the 9th, which is Tuesday, but it won't be in the packet, so,
Won't be in the packet in September.
We're not
Correct.
trying to get it in the September packet.
not necessarily, that's correct.
Yeah.
That's
We're
correct.
not, right.
Yeah, I said, well, I personally, I'd rather you take your time and
That's-
do it as a rushing
Amen.
something.
Could, just a thought, if we're gonna bring them in, could we meet sooner and then make a decision, and whoever we decide, bring them in October? Does that make,
We're gonna bring them in twice.
no,
No, you make your
We're gonna
decision
meet.
in October.
we'll meet,
Mhm.
make a decision, whittle it down to where, between all 5,
6. When they say one disqualified.
one pulled out. And then make a decision on 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and then set another meeting where we invite them to come in at that meeting, because if we meet in October, then it's gonna be the end of October or beginning of November before we're able to meet with them.
Let me suggest a modification on
Okay.
that. Second time they come in, before you meet, let's have them present us a
They're
contract.
only gonna come in one time though.
They're gonna come in one time, and then the second time.
Right.
Let them, they will have given us a contract to
Contract.
look at. So you can either say, I like this, or go back. You can play with it all during the month of September.
I guess I'm talking about just making a decision who we're gonna go.
Yeah.
Direction, and then set another meeting and invite them to come in. So
When do you wanna have the next meeting? You're talking about a meeting to eliminate.
Correct.
Taking this back now.
Where we
Will
can
it- will
actually
it- will it-
carry a vote on who's out and who's in,
Yeah,
and then we know who's in, and we can set another meeting to say, hey, let's get a hold of them, see if they can give them some dates.
Yeah.
And see, because if we decide that in October, then we're at least 3 or 4 more weeks, and we don't wanna run into the holidays. with
your
everything.
October meeting is October 20. So it really, just from what you said, needs to be done by then so that they can transition during those 2 months.
I think that would be preferable, for sure.
I would suggest you, Chairman, call a meeting sometime in the next couple of weeks.
What is 9 September?
Unrecess us in the next couple of weeks.
That's what we plan on doing.
All that back.
What, look at your calendar, see what hand.
Call us in for recess.
September the 9th, is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
Look at your calendar, see.
when was that?
September 9th.
September 9th.
Any problem with that? 5:30, what's your pleasure?
Don't matter.
5 P, September the 9th.
You said what time, 5?
Mhm.
Alrighty.
Do I recess, or do we take a vote on recess?
Just say somebody make a motion to recess.
Somebody make a motion to recess.
I make a
We
motion.
got a
for
motion, we
recess.
have a second.
Second.
We have a motion, second, any objections? We stand
Recess.
recess, thank you.
It's September 9th.
Yes, sir.
September 9th, 5 o'clock in this right here.